Hey guys, what's up? Zax here. Today I wanted to talk about the future of Formula 1. Now I did a video a little bit like this about 2 years ago, but I wanted to do sort of an updated video on my sort of thoughts on the future of Formula 1 because we've had news in recent weeks of different ideas and stuff that's been put forward to go forward into next year's Formula 1 season, which I'll talk about in this video. But if you have any ideas and comments, please leave them down in the comment section. It's very interesting to read your thoughts. But anyway, let's get into this and start off with my thoughts about Bernie Ecclestone. Surely he's going to have to step down from sort of the head of Formula 1 soon because, he's getting pretty old. So surely he's going to be getting someone else to take over. And there's been lots of different people that have been linked to probably or possibly taking over from his current role. I think Ross Brawn has, in my opinion, from the news articles that I've seen, has been sort of the person that's been linked quite a lot with possibly taking over that role from Bernie Ecclestone. But I don't particularly think that Ross Brawn's the sort of person that would, I don't think he'd really like to do that. I think it's quite a lot of pressure, and I don't think, I think Ross Brawn's really sort of trying to get away from F1 as much as possible. I mean, he's a great person for the sport. He's a great guy, but I just don't think he'd want to get back involved F1 in that sort of role. But it must be soon that Bernie Ecclestone will be stepping down from Formula 1. I mean, he's very outspoken. He says what he wants, and sometimes he doesn't get away with it. But I honestly think that it's going to be just a couple of years, and we'll see him stepping down from sort of the person at the top of Formula 1, seeing what happens and everything. So I don't really know. There's been a couple of people linked to it, but there's not been really any strong links. But if you want to leave your comments about who you would like to see replace Bernie Ecclestone, leave it down in the comments. That would be really interesting to see what you guys think about that. Second off, for the future of Formula 1, apparently next year we're going to have standing starts after restarts, after like safety car periods. And I tweeted this out, and I think a lot of people agree with it. It's going to end up being like turn 1 accident, safety car, turn 1 accident, safety car, turn 1 accident, safety car. And by the end we've got, probably about 10 cars ending up finishing the race if it's going to end up like that. I mean, in all fairness, there are quite a lot of turn 1 accidents in Formula 1. It's just where all the cars are congested into the smallest space they are throughout the whole Grand Prix. So obviously, I think this is a very bad decision for Formula 1. It can only be worse, really, than what it currently is. We don't really ever see accidents on the sort of start of restarts, so that makes any sense. And I honestly think standing starts is pretty much just the worst. But I don't see the advantage of it in any way whatsoever. It pretty much just, if you get a great start, say you're doing a Vettel and 10 seconds out in the lead after 5 laps, and then out of nowhere you've got no lead again, and if you have a bad start, it's off that restart, it's just like, what? This is just a bit silly. I literally think this is probably one of the worst things they could have done. I'm 100% against this, and I hope they sort of flip this decision and they get rid of these standing starts. But it looks quite solid that they will continue with this, which in my opinion, I'd like to have my opinion on this matter, but it's just so silly in my opinion. It's only going to end up with more crashed cars than there currently are. So yeah, I think it's a really bad thing, and I think it's in most of the team's best interest to fight against this and get this overturned. And also Bernie Ecclestone, who I was talking about earlier on in this video, has been saying quite a lot that he wants to have less teams on the grid, which is baffling to me because surely you'd want more teams on the grid. Somewhere like NASCAR, and okay, I don't want to compare F1 to NASCAR, but there are so many teams in NASCAR, and a lot of them have the chance of winning. And I think the more teams you can have in Formula 1, the more chance there is of having someone else that's going to be winning the race. And I want to see that. I want to see different people on the podium. I don't want to see the same team, the same driver on the top step of the podium every single race. It's so boring. Even if you're a fan of that driver, it's surely boring to see that person on the top step of the podium every single race. It's just not fun, and I think the more teams we have, the more chance we have of somebody different on the top step of the podium. Even if it's a bit even though it's unlikely that they'll come in and win straight away, it's just a chance, a possibility that someone else will stand on that top step of the podium for that. So the future of Formula 1. Well, unfortunately, from my perspective, it's not looking 100% how I'd want. But I'm not running it, unfortunately. But unfortunately for me, at least, I don't get everything I want. But You know, it's just what it is, and I'm sure that we'll see changes throughout this year about what's happening for next year. But yeah, leave your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below about what you're thinking about the future of Formula One, whether these moves and ideas they've had in recent recent races are good or bad for the future. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been Alex, and I'm out here. Goodbye.